Hello and welcome to Apple Blossom and You. I'm your host Sarah, known as Apple Blossom SF on Ravelry and Instagram.
And I'm your co-host Matt. Almost forgot my name. I am known as Navy 1990 on Ravelry. M Franklin 1990 on Instagram.
I'm also known as Apple Blossom SF on Clerk. But honestly, I'm not on Clerk all that much. I often forget about it. I'm more active on Instagram and Facebook. So if you're interested in following me on Facebook, there is a link to my Facebook page on my profile within Ravelry.
I haven't done that.
Oh shit!
You'll have to show me how.
I might have to remember how.
Because I don't know how to do, like, everybody that posts and puts links to patterns and calls out people and all of that. I don't know how to do that.
I can show you how to do that.
So when I mention people, they don't know it.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
You'll have to show me.
Welcome to our friends who have joined us. And if you're new and you're just sitting down enjoying us, we hope that you enjoy today's podcast.
And all of you are friends.
Yes.
We don't look at you as viewers. You are friends to us. You take the time out of your day to watch us, and we find that to be awesome. So you guys are friends to us. Welcome.
So we're trying a little bit of a new setup today. I rearranged furniture, and we're sitting in the family room, which is where we always sit, but we previously had it styled as a dining room, and we had our family area in our dining area. We have an open floor plan, so it's not all separate anyway.
Right.
It's just all kind of together and joined together. The kitchen is a dividing room for us. So we like this area. We feel that it's got the best light, but it's just, we're on a much smaller table that we had to set up. So we're going to see how it goes today. We may record from a different spot next week. We don't know. But so far this looks
we're not sure.
I feel like I'm sitting a lot lower.
The table's lower.
That's why I feel like I'm sitting lower, even though I'm sitting in the same chair. So let's jump right into Around the Apple Orchard. It's been a busy week.
It has been. We started right after the podcast last week. We drove down to, I dropped a stitch. Oh, saved it. We drove down to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, which is about 2.5 hours away. Sarah's grandparents were down there visiting and invited us to come down and see them.
Have dinner with them.
Yeah. So we ended up, as soon as the podcast was published to YouTube, we were out the door.
Actually, it wasn't even quite finished publishing. There were still a few minutes left, and we had to leave. So I didn't get to do a lot of the links, and I don't even know if I remembered to put it on the blog last week. It just kind of got busy. If it's not up there, I will link it today for the last episode, and we'll put today's up there as well.
Yeah.
We don't have anything else to do today, so we're enjoying a nice, slow-paced day.
Yeah.
Matt has to mow the yard. It's about 2 feet tall, so the dogs get lost.
We have had a lot of rain, and our yard doesn't dry quickly.
No, it doesn't. And we've been gone the past couple Saturdays. We've had other things to do, so there hasn't been time to get it done.
Yeah.
And now it's out of control, so he and the girls will be working on that this afternoon.
Yeah, as part of my husbandly duties to do the yard.
I'd like to say thank you to all of those of you who contacted us and said congratulations to Maddie on making her performance. She's really excited. We're excited. We're going to hopefully be buying our tickets later this week so that we can do that. We're trying to convince her to sing on the podcast. She is resistant at this point, and bribing has not been successful. So I will continue thinking of something that would be worthy of inducing a 15-year-old teenager to sing on camera.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe next week we can get her to sing on the podcast for y'all.
I tried bribing, and yeah, it didn't work.
No.
So,
Wasn't enough, I guess.
guess not.
We'll find something. Maybe it's maybe blackmail. What do you think? Should we threaten her and to show her baby pictures?
Show baby pictures on the podcast, or you sing. We can do that.
That might work.
We can do that.
And no, we don't.
No, I wouldn't.
We don't blackmail our children. We may joke about it, and we'll probably joke with her about it after this, and we'll see what she does. So it'll be interesting. Maybe I ought to send her a message, send her a text, and see what her response is while we're recording.
She'd panic and come running out here and interrupt the podcast.
Probably.
Don't you dare!
Probably. Don't.
Well, today was kind of interesting. Earlier today, there is a church here in town that has a clothing ministry for women.
It's for teens specifically.
It's specifically for teens, but any woman can go in there, and you just go in, and it's all the clothes are donated,
and you get to shop for 10 items.
They do it like a boutique. They don't make you feel out of place because you're going in there to get free clothing. And while I was in there with Madison and Emma, a newspaper reporter was in there interviewing the girl that started it, and she started it when she was in high school. And he interviewed her, and he interviewed a mother, and then he interviewed one of the volunteers. So as I'm sitting there, I noticed his photographer is there as well. And I was sitting there knitting on my Ranger. And the photographer looks at me and he says, "You know, that would make a really interesting picture. Do you mind if I take your picture?" Okay, go ahead. So he did. Got my information, and there will be, hopefully, photographic proof of me knitting in public. And he asked me, yeah, he asked me what I was working on, who I was there with, and I enjoy it. We go there. It's every other week, or no, the first and third Saturdays of each month, and the girls go there. Sometimes they get 1 item, 2 items, depending on what they find. And sometimes they'll walk out, like today, Emma walked out with 7 or 8. It just depends on what they have. And as the seasons come and go, they change out what they have in there, whether it's little skirts or, shorts and T-shirts and things like that. They'll switch over to sweaters and pants and things like that.
It's been such a blessing to us.
It has been.
We've been going for about 2 years. Not every time they're open, but most of the time we do go, and it's been very beneficial for us because we haven't had to buy the girls clothes, and of course they grow fast, and now that they're teenagers, they're wanting stuff, that's a little bit more fashion forward, and just don't have the budget always for it. So it is nice to be able to go, and they enjoy picking out stuff for them. And
in fact, Maddie got a pair of pants today that still had all the tags on them. They were from Old Navy. They'd never been worn, and they were free.
It's very helpful.
Yeah. a lot of y'all know it's tough economic times, and to keep up with two teenage girls when it comes to clothing, it can be extremely difficult. So it really has been a blessing.
Also this week I have been busy baking. So I've been doing a ton of baking. I got some exciting news to share. One of them is official, one of them is mostly official. I have to give my estimate. But last week I was asked to make a cake for a young lady who's getting married. Well, she's already married, but they haven't actually had a wedding. They had a small ceremony, but they want to have a big church wedding. Her dad was deployed, but her husband was moved, or her fiance was moving. He's in the military, and they felt that it was best just to go ahead and get married so she can go with him. So they were doing that. They did that. And I got asked to make a wedding cake for them. And I'm pulling up the picture. I'm so excited. It's going to be...
I love that that she didn't even hesitate. The bride's
It's going
mother.
to be similar. I'm trying to get it to where it doesn't glare. It's going to be similar to that. And I'll post a picture either in here, I might edit it and put it right here so you can see a better picture, or it will be in either of the credits. So I'm really excited. I am making some changes. I'm not copying it exactly. I don't need to copy it exactly. So I'm so excited, but I'm so nervous too, because I don't normally sell my cakes. I just do them for fun. I donate them to the church or wherever, or just serve them to guests. And I adore baking, and I just absolutely adore it.
Well, this will be your second wedding cake too.
Yes, the first one was, I technically got paid for it, but I didn't. It was more of a gift. I was paid $20, and I spent over $150 on the ingredients and supplies to go into the cake. So I really didn't get paid.
No.
This one I'm hoping to actually officially get paid for. It's fondant, so it's going to be a very labor-intensive cake, but I am super excited. So I'm nervous to give them their quote tomorrow. It shouldn't be an issue, but I'm still really nervous because I have a feeling that they're going to hit the floor a little bit, and my price is half of what you would pay elsewhere. So, and then in the process, I was asking for people that were local that would want to eat cakes. And a friend of mine, her daughter loves horses, and her birthday's next month. So she's like, oh, I'm so excited. I would love for you to do a cake. Let's work on something and I'll pay you for it. So I'm going to be doing a cake similar to this one. So I'm really excited to do that. That one I'm getting paid for too. So it'll be a lot of fun.
And then last night we had our Bible study for the first time in a month because of the holiday, and we only do it every other week, and it just happened to fall on the 4th of July, which we canceled it for that night. But one of the gentlemen that's in our Bible study, his birthday is today. So Sarah surprised him with a birthday cake.
It was a great surprise. He was not expecting it.
Wait, oh no.
Drop a stitch?
I don't know. Oh no.
Might have to do some on-air surgery here.
No. Go ahead.
Well, anyway, he came and I said, I have a surprise for you. And he was kind of like, what? You have a surprise for me? Why do you have a surprise for me? And I said, it's your birthday. I made you a cake. And he was just over the moon. I pulled out the cake, and everybody, as they started showing up, look, that's my cake, that's my cake. And he was so excited. He ended up taking over half the cake home with him, which I thought was really just precious to me. And, it makes my heart sing to know that I was able to do something relatively small and make such a big impact. So here's a picture of his cake. And I showed all these on Instagram. So some of you may have seen them. And I will definitely put them in the credits for sure. So that was good. And this week I also worked on, I made some cupcakes that were gifted. I made hydrangeas. So I have some hydrangea cupcakes. I gave those away, otherwise I'd show a cupcake. And I also made my first cake with fondant. And I had so much fun with that. So it's black with daisies and heart pinks. And I worked on my first flower. And this I actually have to show you. I made my first fondant rose. And it's hot, hot pink, so it's not showing up.
No, it's going to show up orange.
Yeah, but there it is. And it's got little calyx, I think is what it's called.
The calyx.
So it's super, super cute. I'm super, super happy with it. And it's
Stitch somewhere.
it's firming up quite nicely, so I can handle it without fear. But the girls keep going, can I eat it? Can I eat it? And I'm like, no, you can't eat it. I'm keeping it. Did you drop?
I think I might have, but I don't know where.
Well, we'll have to do some surgery then. This week, I also got 2 new teacups. I told you last episode that I was expecting 3. I'm still expecting 1. I'm not happy with that. I paid a shipping rate of $8, which I was fine with that, and I'm still fine with that for the most part. But, you know, it's a teacup. I'm expecting there to be a little bit more shipping and handling, a little bit more packaging involved. But he sent it parcel post from Florida. It's still not here. Florida, there's 2 states in between me and Florida. We're in North Carolina, we have South Carolina, Georgia, and then there's Florida. So it's still not here. So I'm very bummed, I guess would be a good way to say it.
I figured it out.
You figured it out?
Yeah, but I need to tink all the way back because one of the stitches
It's on the wrong side.
slipped, yeah.
I have done that. So I am officially
I'll
collecting Royal Albert now. I now have in my possession 3 Royal Albert cups. I forgot to get my first one. I'll have to show it. I found a series. It's called the Blossom Time series. And I have 2 in that series. There's a series of 6. And the first one I got is this one. There's the cup.
This back.
And there's inside the cup.
Yeah.
And here. And this is lilac. And it's beautiful. I love it. I haven't drank out of this one yet. Only because I have this one. And I love this one, but I was disappointed in it because there was a little bit of condition issues that wasn't declared. I think that the lady didn't know what it was, and therefore it wasn't pictured, so I couldn't see that it was a condition issue until I got the cup. But I still love it, and I've drank out of it every day. When did I get this one? I think I got it on Tuesday. And this is in the series. Let me dump the water out of it. Matt washed it for me. This is the Apple Blossom.
Which is perfect for you.
Oh, yes.
The apple
And
blossom.
it's got the blossoms. And then the plate. Now,
Saucer, not
yes.
a plate. It's
Well,
a teacup.
saucer.
It's a saucer.
Let's see if I can get this. On this one, you can barely see it there, but there's a nice purple rim. This one, there's supposed to be a pink rim, and it's pretty much gone. So it was definitely used and loved, which is fine for me. I now don't feel bad about drinking out of it all the time, but it's not, I wanted it as a collection piece, and it's not quite collection piece quality. So I will end up finding another one and getting it, but I love them, and I hope to work on the other remaining 4 soon. There's an orange blossom, and I can't remember all of them, but they're very, very pretty, and I'm excited to have that, and excited to actually officially start collecting a specific type of teacup. I adore Royal Albert, and they have a lot of very, very nice patterns, so I'm so super, super, super excited. So I think that's pretty much all that's happened for me in this week. Do you got anything new to share? You're busy thinking.
I don't know if I have any.
Yeah, I think you do.
Uh-oh.
It's Saturday. What does that mean for you?
I'm wearing my Saturday shirt.
He came in last week and he noticed that he had worn the same shirt on the podcast.
2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row. So he came in today and I was finishing getting ready and he's like, I need to change my shirt. I'm wearing the same shirt. And I said, that's your Saturday shirt, honey. That's how people will know that we actually recorded on Saturday. You need to mention that you're wearing.
And it's not that I choose or that I have a schedule for my shirts. I really don't. It just happened to work out that this is what I grabbed out of the drawer this morning.
Every Saturday.
But
for
unfortunately,
the
it's
past 3
just
weeks.
like every Saturday I pull this in.
I think it's because he gets to wear the same shirt every day for work, and
Yeah,
that usually is the one that gets cleaned during the week, so it's on top of the pile. So I think he reaches in and grabs it, and that's what comes out of the drawer. It's not a conscious thought of, oh, I'm putting on this shirt. It's just like, shirt on.
So this is my official Saturday podcast shirt from now on. I'm going to wear this every Saturday while we podcast. You know what? Somebody wants to send me a shirt so that I have something new to wear on Saturdays, so be it.
That sounds like that I don't buy clothing for you, and that's just not true.
I have plenty of shirts. I really do. It just happens to work out that this is the one I grab on Saturdays.
I think I'm going to go ahead and pour myself some
I
oolong
am
today.
so slow at thinking. You make it look like
I
the
have
easiest
more
thing in the
experience
world.
than you.
And here I am, totally, like I got 8 thumbs and...
Do you want me to tink for you?
No, because now I'm down to that much. So
I don't mind tinking for you.
I know you don't.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into In the Apple Basket. And while I'm talking about In the Apple Basket, we have an In the Apple Basket thread, which is your finished object thread. It's in our Ravelry group, so any objects that you finish during the month, you don't have to start them in the month, but if you finish them during the month, you can post them in the group. And on August 1st, or technically it'll be August 2nd, because that's when we are going to record for the first time in August, we will draw a winner, and the winner will
Live.
we will get to, not necessarily live.
Oh, I'm going to draw it live.
So we will pick a winner, and we will randomly pick a winner, not just pick a winner. We'll actually use a random number generator, and
Yes.
we will choose a winner, and the winner will get a $5 giftable pattern of their choice. I have finished objects.
I don't,
You never have finished
because
objects.
I'm not Dan Jones. And Legos don't count.
Why not?
Honestly,
It does count. It's a finished object.
It's not off his needles.
But that doesn't matter. My rose is a finished object. And
How
it's
is a
not-
rose a finished object when it goes on a cake and there's no cake?
It's a completed piece.
So's my sleeve.
No, that's only part.
No, that's... See? And... You
The
there's no
rose in
logic.
itself.
There's no logic. The sleeve is a piece. So that makes it not a finished object. But the rose is a piece, but it's a finished object.
It was never meant to go on a cake, so therefore it is finished in itself. It was meant to be just a rose. So it is finished.
Like I said last week, the rules change in the game.
And like I said last week, you're a booger.
Yes, I am.
All right, I do have a finished object.
She does. I don't. But
I
she does.
finished my Mystic Spiral Socks, and this is the Knit Picks Felicity, and the pattern is by Sort of a Knitter, Josh
Ricks.
Ricks. I can't say his last name. It's the spelling.
It's Ricks.
I understand, but it's spelled different, and I don't do well with that. So I am really, really pleased with these, and I look forward to wearing them. They're so cool. I will definitely do this pattern again, which is not common for me to want to repeat sock patterns. Most of the time, I'm just happy with plain vanilla socks.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, teat.
I did, and I've got to figure out how to get that. Pay no attention to the moron with needles.
Well, those are my socks. I have another finished object. I finished spinning. This is the second part, the second 4 ounces of my 3 feet of sheep. And it's beautiful. I love it. I should have grabbed the first one, but I didn't grab it. This is still slightly damp. But it's got the greens to the yellows. There's some pink hiding in there and to the reds. So it's beautiful. I don't think I'm going to twist that back up because it is still a bit damp. And I have one more finished object. I finished my
You make me look
Caledonian forest hat. This is my design. It is currently being tested. So I have some lovely testers who are testing for me. It will be available to purchase
Including
August
me.
1st.
Although I'm not the lovely tester.
So here is...
There are lovely testers out there.
We need to go today, and we need to get...
Where?
we need to go somewhere before August 1st and get better pictures.
I agree.
Well, I guess he should really finish his hat.
Seeing as how
So-
today I have to mow the yard, unless you want to take pictures at the gas station while I'm getting gas for the lawnmower.
No, that wouldn't be good.
We
But
can't do
I
that.
love it. It's beautiful. Well, I think it's beautiful, but I think cables are beautiful.
I like cable.
So it's
They're
It's done.
they're difficult for me still because I haven't done very many. But the hat is, yeah, I cast it on another one. Are you gonna put it on me?
there. We have a live model.
That works. I'm gonna wear it
Well, it's your
for the
hat.
whole podcast. I'm gonna wear it. How it's like covering the corners of my eyes.
Well, adjust it.
No, I like it.
All right. Well, that's all we have for in the apple basket. So we will move on to blooming apples. Do you want to start?
All of my apples are blooming.
They're always blooming.
I have yet to pick an apple and put it in the basket. Although the sleeve is almost done, so that'll give me a finished object.
No.
Because parts count as finished objects. Which means my bakery bear has 5 or 6 finished objects. Because I have the parts done.
No, dear. No.
I will say thank you to Dan Jones, who stood up for me this week and said that half is a finished object. Thank you, Dan. But I'm trying to hurry and get to the end of this row so that I can show it. I've got 3 stitches left.
He knits slow.
I do. I'm methodical. Not slow. Methodical. Okay. So, I am doing, as y'all know, The Ranger by Jared Flood. Still. Yes, still. I gotta adjust this. Messing with my eyes. Makes my head look huge. I have a massive head. And I'm doing it in the... I can't remember the yarn company. It's Encore. Is it Encore yarn? Or is it
It's Plymouth Encore.
Plymouth Encore? That's what I was remembering. I couldn't remember the Plymouth. In a kind of maroon, tweed, heathery colorway. I've done more this week than I did last week. Where's that? There's my little... Oh, I have got to get used to the camera. Think you do? So I've done a couple pattern repeats. I am close to being done. I promise. I'm putting it out there. I promise this will be done for the next podcast.
And he will start the body.
And then I'll start the body, which, finished object. Go ahead, say it. No, it's not. Whatever. And I am doing, from the Unwind Yarn Company, this really cool gold and orange and little flecks of green and black and all of that on some my toe-up socks, which, as of this morning, I am ready to do the heel. But I'm going to do a short row heel, which I don't know how to do. So my knitting Yoda is going to help me with that. And once I get past the heel, that's easy peasy then. don't know if I like toe-up socks or not.
I like them and I don't. I prefer cuff down. It's the way I like to do it. There's nothing wrong with toe-up socks. It's just not my favorite method, so I don't do it often, but I know how. I actually learned how to knit toe-up socks first. So
Did you really?
yes, I did, and I learned to actually knit them 2 at a time. And I don't usually knit socks 2 at a time. I
learned how to knit socks from a book.
It's not true.
It is true.
I showed you,
And
I told you go look at them.
She said, "Here's how you knit socks," and then she rambled off some gibberish that at the time I didn't understand. And the final phrase was, "Go look it up in the book."
I have a really good basic sock pattern in a book, so it was actually for doing a cuff down socks. It was very simple for him to be able to do it because it broke down. Okay, you have this many stitches, you do this, and it was each step of the way. So it was actually a good thing for him to follow.
Since then, I have done 4 or 5 pairs.
Something like that. He's addicted to socks like I am.
I love socks. They're easy to carry with you.
I knit socks more than any other project, especially now that I can't knit sweaters. I miss knitting sweaters for myself. But it's hard to knit a sweater for yourself when you're shrinking.
Yes. But it also takes forever to knit a sweater.
Well, I can usually whip it out. I think the quickest I ever did a sweater was in 10 days. So it might have been 7. So
I don't know. I don't know how you do it. You just...
Usually I knit only on that if I want to get it done.
I guess so.
I have not much knitting progress.
I had one more. I don't have it with me.
Well, then it doesn't count.
It does count. It's my bakery bear. It's my Mrs. Bakery Bear. I'm onto the legs, but for some reason my hands don't want to coordinate enough to do the legs. So I made it 3 rows in and ripped it out. So I need to start the legs so that I can actually get the bear sewn together. And then I can actually do clothing. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I want to. Yeah, I don't know. Do I want to put a dress on her, or do I just want it to be a bear?
That's up to you. You're the one knitting it.
I am.
I think they look cute for clothes.
We'll see. I have the yarn for it.
I know you do. I gave it to you.
Yeah. I get my stash from her. All of it.
Because I have a large stash.
Mine fits in
large
a dresser.
S.
Mine fits in a dresser drawer. That's my stash.
Well, I used to work in a yarn shop. I worked in a yarn shop for almost 2 years, so I was able to get first pick at a lot of yarn. So I was actually with working. That's what my paycheck went for was yarn. So everything she paid me, I pretty much put back into the shop.
They were basically working her to.
I was working for yarn. It came through the channel of money first. So, because you can't
I don't know why they didn't just.
You can't legally pay someone in yarn. Although, if you could, I would have done it.
They probably should have just given you store credit instead of a paycheck and wasting paper.
But you have to pay taxes and that all that official stuff.
Okay, so it can come out, and then they say, okay, here's what's left. It goes into an account. But while she worked there, she could see in the computer who had bought how much over like the last year. And she was like 10 times more than the next person in line. She was the only gold star spender.
And now I'm not.
And now you're not.
I'm just not. I just don't have the budget for it.
No. We have 2 yarn shops within 20 miles of us. And the one, gosh, we haven't been in that one in
over a year.
Yeah, a little over a year.
But she's on the beach. She's very nice, but it's a little bit more pricey.
It is.
Well, anyway, I
have for yours
some blooming apples that I'd like to share.
And
is that okay?
If you say that's a finished object,
it is
I'm
not
getting up and walking off.
It is not a finished object. Okay. I have one sock.
Okay.
And the start of another sock. So it is not a finished object yet. It'll be finished when I have a pair of socks. That makes it finished, not one sock. But I finished one sock. But it is not a finished object. This is my Blossom Street Petals Debbie McComber at the Angora. And I love it. Flowering cabbage. I love that pop of blue. Blue and purple are like my favorite colors. So to have them in the sock is like great.
With a little bit of greenish gray.
They're so squishy. So squishy. I was knitting on them in church on Sunday. And before service came over, everybody always comes over and asks, what you working on? They've gotten to the point where they don't ask as much because I always bring socks. Maybe I ought to find something that I can mindlessly knit on. Like maybe I'll bring a dishcloth or something one Sunday and then
Throw them
for a loop. What are you knitting?
Are you doing socks? No.
They must all think that's all I knit is socks, which is so not true. But anyway,
but socks are easy to take to church.
Because I can mindlessly knit on them. I don't have to watch what I'm doing, so therefore I can pay attention to the sermon and listen and all that kind of stuff. I can share and read the Bible along with him while I'm still knitting, and it doesn't affect that. It just helps the time seem like it's passing quicker, which is good, because I get fidgety if I have to sit still too long.
Yeah, you do.
But anyway, I had the sock, and everybody just came up, and they wanted to feel it, so everybody was feeling it, going, "Ooh, that's so nice. That is wonderful." So it's nice and squishy.
Those will be winter socks.
Winter socks. Definitely, the Angora will make them quite warm.
Your
So
feet would
I will
burst into flames in North Carolina summertime wearing those socks.
I'll have to wear them in the summer. But I finished
Winter.
the one. Summer, winter, doesn't matter. I'll wear them anytime. And I just started on the cuff. And I'm just past the cuff, so there's not much done. And then the other thing that I did all of 4 rounds on is I worked on this morning. I
seem to recall last podcast you said, I should be done with this pretty quickly.
Well, I ended up, when I was editing, I ended up working on the hat that he's wearing. So I didn't actually work on this. I worked on something else. But I'm getting really bored with my projects that I have on the needles right now, so I'm probably going to power them out as quickly as I can and get some new ones on the needles. But I'm working still and almost done. I have like an inch left on my sleeve for my Sweet William. And here's the lower body. So my goal is to finish that this week.
Hopefully I can finish the sleeve today.
I'm not holding my breath.
I don't have much. No, I don't have much left. I have to do 15 increases. I'm at 13.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm halfway to 14 right now. So it shouldn't be that hard.
Well,
Depends on how much of a slave driver I get when I'm doing the yard work.
I'm not a slave driver. I'm not. I just want the yard done.
She's not. I actually enjoy doing yard work.
Really?
I do, because I put my music on my phone.
That's why you come in
Headphones
every
on
20
and-
minutes and...
It's because it's hot! Today's not bad, though. It's only in the 70s out there, so... I can
So the
handle
whole
it.
yard will get mowed today, correct?
Whoosh. Crack the whip. Wow.
Love you.
Yes, boss. The whole yard will get... No, I don't know if it will or not. I hope so.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we'll probably get rain. I'll get half the front yard done, and it'll start raining. Because every day in North Carolina, there is a chance of rain.
Summertime.
And it never fails that when I start mowing the yard, it rains. Or it's 95 degrees with about 200% humidity.
You can't have 200% humidity.
It sure feels like it. It's like I'm breathing water out there. You know, which is why I come in every 20 minutes, because I need to replenish the fluids that have come out of my body.
Yeah, I can go out there and I can mow for an hour and a half straight.
No, you can't. No, I defy you to go out there when it's 95 and mow for an hour and a half straight. There's no way. Maybe it's because I'm old.
That I agree too. Guess you're older than me.
by a lot. For those of you that don't know, I am 8 years older than Sarah. So I get the old jokes all the time. But what she doesn't realize is that her 40th birthday is coming up in a few years, and I have all the time in the world to plan.
Yeah, but
And
then
I
your
am
50th birthday is rolling
I know.
around too, and payback. It's not always nice.
I don't mind it. You did it for my 40th birthday.
I was not mean.
I didn't say I was going to be mean. For your 40th.
You had a cake and chili and friends. That's all. I did nothing mean. I did not tease you. And that's not what's going to happen.
You did not tease me.
I did not tease you.
Old jokes all the time. Because I'm 43 years old, which my daughter Madison asks all the time, Dad, how old are you? Are you 41, 42? No.
She says, then he'll go, I'm 43. She goes, again?
She seems to think I'm stuck at 43. I don't care how old I am. Doesn't bother me.
Well, I have some apple candy. Can I share it now?
You have apple candy. Where'd you get apple candy? Oh, that's right.
I meant to show this last week, and I was scatterbrained and forgot. I had a lovely conversation with Kimberly, and she was so sweet. She gifted me her newest pattern, which is going on the needles. I technically sort of cast it on, but I don't know if...
Did you get like 3 rows?
Oh, no, I got one.
Oh, 1. Wow. You're
But
slower than me.
It was like 20 minutes ago. I can't wait. See?
Wow. I met somebody that's slower than me on socks. 20 minutes, you got 1 round done. And it's been longer than 20 because we've been on the screen 41 minutes. So don't tell me that I'm slow. I fully admit I'm a slow knitter. But you've now had an hour. 20 minutes plus the 40 we've been on screen.
You're so not nice. Love you.
Love you too. 1 round in an hour.
Well, what I was going to say was I'm not sure.
I could knit that much and not
I
have
might
any
wait on
arms
them.
to do
I
it.
want to finish a couple projects. But anyway, she gifted me her Lovely Waves sock. And it's a cable sock and self-striping yarn. Let's see if I can get a little bit better picture. They're just really, really cute. And it is by Kimberly Guitar. So if you haven't checked out her patterns, I recommend them. They're beautiful and well written. And this one looks like so much fun. So I'm excited.
Those are cool.
All right. Was there anything else you wish to share or tease me about? And make me cry?
Oh, I could tease you about all day. That's what I do. And she loves it.
It is never a dull moment around here. But every once in a while, I get a really good witty one on him.
Every once in a while. It's about 10 to 1.
Which is picks on me. It's not nice.
If I didn't love you, I wouldn't pick on you.
I wish you didn't love me so much. It'd be nice not to be picked on. I'm joking. All right. Now this is one that's been
almost.
definitely full of laughs. I hope that you enjoyed it, and we're not normally this silly, but it's
Not normally, no.
hey, it's good. It's real. This is what happens in real life. This is what our
And I've
lives are
made
like.
progress on my sleeve. Enid, that's for you. We did not say hi to our new introduction. We have introduction thread in our podcast, in our Ravelry group.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're part of the group and haven't introduced yourself, come over, introduce yourself, tell us a little about yourself. This week we had one, and it was Ange is hip. I think that's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
If she corrects me, I would be greatly appreciated. She came in, introduced herself. She's been a member of the group for a while and decided to finally introduce herself. So, hi. Welcome to the group.
So if you haven't joined yet and you would like to join the group, please join our Ravelry group. Also, a quick tidbit. We are looking for someone to do new graphics for the podcast.
Yes.
I've contacted a couple people on Ravelry that have come highly recommended, and I've had no response. So I'm looking for someone who is interested in doing that. If anybody wants to volunteer, that would be even great, but we do have a small budget. I don't even know what something like this officially costs. So if you're interested, please contact me and we could talk about it and we can get it worked out, because we would love to be able to do buttons and stuff like that as well, so that we can give those guys to you as well. But we need better graphics than the ones that we've got. It's just something that I was able to create for free online. So I want something that is much nicer.
Kind of professional looking. I mean, ours look kind of professional, but it'd be nice to have somebody that knows what they really are doing.
Yeah. I have no idea what I really want it to look like, so there is definitely creative license there. I think it would be fun. So if you're interested in doing some graphics for us, or know someone who might be interested, please PM us, and we can talk about what we would like and price and all that kind of stuff. And of course, I would love you forever if somebody wanted to volunteer. If somebody wants to volunteer, I'll knit you a pair of socks.
I would, but you'd probably not have socks for a while.
You'd never get the socks.
Not never. It'd be a while, but it wouldn't be never.
Or if you'd prefer to have a hand knit shawl for donating, we can do that too. We'll work it out. We can call it a nice barter, and we'll see what happens. So if you're
I'm
interested,
all about bartering.
I am too. If you're interested in doing some graphics for us, or know someone who would, please send us a PM. So that's all we have for this week.
Come over to the question thread. Leave your questions for either Sarah or myself.
Yeah.
We have that on our Ravelry group as well. Don't forget to post your finished objects.
Yeah.
Apparently this doesn't count.
No.
This doesn't either.
I didn't count it.
I know. We have one. Not two.
But you don't need to clarify for me. I know that that's not a finished object. It's a hoe, which I really don't like that term. It's half an object. I'm not comfortable with that term. So
Po? Partial object?
that's your favorite knitting.
I'm all about the pose. Partial objects.
Those are called whips.
I know that. All right.
Bye for now.
We've had fun. Y'all have a great week. And
We'll see you next
time.
week.